This ordinary office building in central London holds one of the most important moments in music history, because right above these streets, the Beatles played together live for the very last time. Just four musicians climbing onto a cold London rooftop in January 1969, unknowingly bringing the live story of the Beatles to an end. Today we're at 3 Savile Row in Mayfair, former home of Apple Corps and the location of the most famous rooftop concert in history. Because this isn't just Beatles history, this is the exact place where an era ended. Savile Row has always been famous for luxury tailoring. Politicians, celebrities and rock stars have all bought their suits here for decades. But in the late 1960s, one building on this street became the chaotic headquarters of the biggest band on earth. In 1968, the Beatles created Apple Corps. The Beatles had gone from being a band to running an entire business empire almost overnight. And this building became the centre of it all. This building wasn't just an office, it became the centre of the Beatles universe. And by 1969, things inside the band were already beginning to crack. By early 1969, the Beatles weren't the unstoppable force they had once been. They were still famous, still successful, still revolutionary. But behind the scenes, tensions were growing. At the same time, the band had started filming a project that would eventually become Let It Be. The idea was simple: get back to basics, play live again, be a proper band again, no studio tricks, no elaborate production, just the Beatles playing together. There was only one problem. Nobody could agree where the live performance should happen. Ideas included a cruise ship, an amphitheatre, even performing in another country. Eventually, after endless discussion and indecision, someone suggested the roof. And somehow, that ridiculous idea became history. Thursday, January 30th, 1969, a freezing cold afternoon in London. Suddenly, music started echoing across the rooftops. The Beatles had climbed onto the roof of the Apple Corps and started playing live, completely unannounced, just the Beatles above London. People started opening windows. Workers climbed onto nearby rooftops. Crowds gathered below trying to figure out where the music was coming from. Others immediately realised what was happening. The Beatles were performing live in the middle of London, and nobody wanted to miss it. The band launched into Get Back, then Don't Let Me Down, I've Got a Feeling, One After 909 and Dig a Pony. For around 42 minutes, central London became the greatest concert venue in the world. Billy Preston joined them on keyboards, adding an incredible energy to the performance, and despite the cold weather, they looked genuinely pleased to be up there. Meanwhile, the streets below were becoming total chaos. Traffic slowed, crowds grew larger, people leaned from office windows trying to catch a glimpse, and eventually, the police arrived. Businesses nearby had started complaining about the sound and disruption. The officers entered Apple headquarters and attempted to reach the roof. Meanwhile, the Beatles kept playing. It felt spontaneous, dangerous, alive, and that's probably why it became so legendary. Eventually though, the performance came to an end, and Paul McCartney famously improvised lyrics joking about the police during Get Back. Then finally, John Lennon closed the performance with one of the most iconic final lines in music history. I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the group and ourselves, and I hope we pass the audition. At the time, nobody realised those words would become the final ending to a live Beatles performance ever. Within little over a year, the band would officially break up, and the rooftop concert became the final live performance by all four Beatles together. You can stand outside this building today and hear taxis going past, people talking and tourists walking around, while above your head is the rooftop where music history changed forever. Today, 3 Savile Row remains a place of pilgrimage for Beatles fans from around the world. The rooftop concert has been recreated, referenced and copied countless times over the decades, but there's only one original and it happened right here. 3 Savile Row isn't just another London address, it's the rooftop where the world watched the final live performance of the Beatles, a moment that lasted less than an hour, but became music history forever. And maybe that's the perfect Beatles ending really, just 4 musicians on a rooftop in London playing live music together one last time. Thanks for watching London on a Budget. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more hidden music history, forgotten London stories and legendary locations hiding in plain sight that you can see on a budget.